Here on this channel, we all know that we love the British royal family, hold them in very high respect, but at what cost? You see, what's interesting to note, particularly with our brand new king, King Charles III, he's trying to look at ways of slimming down the costs. And as you can see, he's tried. People already forget, though, that he did donate over £250,000 around about March time of this year from his former duchy. So, he has given back, whether people want to admit that or not. Obviously, the sovereign grant is a big part of why people consider the British monarchy to be very expensive. But these are basic running costs for the historic royal palaces, the staff, etc. The state dinners cost. It doesn't matter what you say, people have to be fed, wines have to be bought. It's not as simple as that. But now, as one can imagine, particularly with the British monarchy, they're looking at ways perhaps to monetize even more. But more importantly, would you pay for this monetization? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And by the way, thank you for all your lovely comments about the supermarket crime shoplifting video that we put together. I did laugh at one particular gentleman who said he can't stop, he's off shopping. And I did find that quite amusing. I'm sure we've all seen it, and if you haven't seen the video, do check it out. But it's so true, isn't it? When you're standing in the supermarket now, you see these flagrant breaches of law, and you think, how come, And as I said, when I was talking to a lot of senior bosses, they basically just put the loss on the cost that we're paying, the law-abiding citizens. Ridiculous when you think. Now, back to our breaking royal story, because when you think about all the things that we could go and see, particularly historic royal palaces, and the fact that they've extended the opening hours of Buckingham Palace recently, which is going great guns, and the Royal Collection Trust have also pointed out that their figures are up from last year, I would suggest that's down to the Platinum Jubilee and the sad demise of our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. But moving forward, they're looking at more optimization because, as we know, the royal family are currently on holiday up in the beautiful area that is Balmoral. But not many of them are staying in Balmoral. As we know, the King and the Queen are staying at Birkdale Hall, and the Prince and Princess of Wales on another property. I love these phrases, cottages. I don't know about you, I call a cottage a one up, one down. These cottages seem to have quite a few rooms. You know what I'm saying? But now they're looking at other things, perhaps extending the opening times for Sandringham in Norfolk. Maybe that could bring in more money. And of course, you could look at Balmoral. Will that be turned into a museum if no senior members of the British monarchy wish to stay there? But there's one area that I find this very strange, and it's something that if you may want to do, would you pay for the privilege of this? You see, every Christmas Day, we see senior members of the British monarchy arriving to church. And as you can imagine, this is a big event every year. The media are there, and it's just kind of nice to see a bit more informality on such a wonderful Christian day, as one can imagine. But what they're now debating, and I say this very loosely, is could this be turned into a monetized paid event? And by that, one might say, well, why should they? Well, when you think about it, it is another, again, isn't it, an opportunity to get up close and personal with the British monarchy. And of course, the idea for this would be that the money would be distributed to worthwhile charities in that particular region. At the moment, this is just very sort of figuratively speaking, and people are muting the idea, as they say. But it's one of many new ideas under the reign of King Charles to see exactly how they can monetize the modern day monarchy to bring the costs of funding the monarchy via the government down. As ever, though, I would really love to know, would you pay to see the senior royals attending church on Christmas Day if you had the option? And more importantly, how much would you pay? As ever, let me know in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of a beautiful Yorkshire.